Okay, we're back in. Having some technical difficulties. I hand behind my back as I'm speaking on this right now. Back to apologizing to particularly be priestess. Okay, and that is what I had said to her was assume the position, put your hand behind it, put behind the back, and I was doing it in a not cool way, and even in a sexual derogatory way, you know, and not even having the facts uh, nor listening to, she does investigative type of stuff, type of tarot. And when I went ahead to go ahead, when I went ahead and went back over, well, first of all, when I came into that situation, you know, all the incoming uh, information that was not necessarily true, as like a lot of information to be coming in, you know, is not necessarily true on my part or with a lot of people that's out there going through all kinds of different things. People making up all kinds of different things. And sorry, left hand behind the back. Yeah, so I went ahead and jumped to an assumption and like told her, hands behind it, left hand behind your back, assume position. And it spoke to me big time with especially with everything that she said with I think I listened to maybe 3 videos. It spoke to me big time, opened me up, and not only that, I love the fact that in the way she did it, you know, even like this background right here. I don't know if I spoke on that already, but this background right here, you can't go by looks. You can't go by. I couldn't go. I shouldn't have went by the tattoo. I should have went by. You can't judge a book by its cover. Why? Because we all do things, go through things, and it might be something that, hey, that'd be, you couldn't even take, not to say you couldn't erase all the ink right there, maybe those things have some very special memories and everything, or it might be painful to erase and everything, if one wanted to erase it. But even judging a book by its cover, you can't do that, you know? And that's what I did. That's what I did in this case, and judge a book by its cover and listen to somebody else tell me about this book, as opposed to opening up the book, slowing down, reading the pages, looking at vibration, looking at the cards to turn, you know, all those things. And so, as a freshman, made a lot of fucking mistakes. Not to say that I'm any more than a freshman right now. All right. So I'm going to jump into today because, and this is still coming from Beat Priestess and everything, because I could not believe all the synchronicities that were like, whoa. I mean, those are something, those are things that I see and I've shown to the ex-wife, but it didn't move her. It didn't, you know. But when I saw these things just happening back to back to back to back, now don't get me wrong, I've seen this with tarot as far as, they say I can't make this up, because the card comes up and everything. But these were like back to back to back to back. And then those same uh, instances or things that she would point out actually jumped out in me. I mean, for me, as I was going back over, but in different ways. Okay, and then here's a few of them. And everything. One, she spoke on that of So I'm gonna take my left hand behind my back right now. Okay. Not to say that I shouldn't still be back there, but take it off right now. Okay. To go ahead and read this here. Get my little notes right here. Uh, the vitamin E. She spoke on vitamin E powder and gel. that was that was like, wow, vitamin E, you know, and even this is this type of situation it is right here now. One thinks, okay, hey, he's sitting inside of here, been out, need to get some sunshine and all kinds of different things, true, which is true. The thing that's uh, relevant though, and people already know, you know, people already know these things, is that people come up inside of this room when I'm not here. Like I said, many things have been missing. Uh, yeah, many things have been missing, especially inside of my paperwork. They know. Matter of fact, they can go right to it because of the cameras right here. They go right to it and get it and get on out. Simple as that. This is no fucking brainer. So with it hasn't happened with yet with the actual materials that I have even here with me, but they can still come in with a camera and do the same thing. Take the camera across it, same thing. You know, and so all of those things are like reasons as why where I'm at in this process of where I'm at in this process of being still. And coupled with that, first of all, I wanted to go ahead and say on the gel, wow, her breakdown from powder to gel, they're switching things out. And then, though that didn't necessarily have to apply to me, that could be applying to any and everyone who might be listening right now. Your medicine, watch it. To come inside of your house, whether it be themselves or they send someone inside of your house to pick certain artifacts, to pick certain items, okay? To touch and curse certain items, to put something inside of your water, you know? All those things roll through my mind. So I'm sorry, I'm reading my notes right now. So this mercy she's talking about, switching the subject real quick, this mercy and severity, you know, uh, listen to that. Did you right on time? Mercy and severity, the balance is where we are at. At least this is where I'm at. This is where she was also speaking on, you know, even in, like I have come on here to go ahead and say, I apologize in general, in general to a lot of people, only to two people right now, and that I've gone on here to say that I apologize specifically to, and B Priestess being the second one too, being the second of the two. First one there is that of Eugene, me, and that's on me not reading. Okay, and still going off of mercy and severity for all of us who have these type of maybe karmic relationships, karmic bonds, or what have you not, or uh, and I'm sorry, not we all have some one way or another. There's going to be one or another. It's just for growth. You know, it doesn't mean bad. It just means that we are here to go ahead and teach each other to like the negative and the positive and the battery in order to even power, to even power. Now, which side is pulled to, that depends on that's going to be on us, okay, or which way we tell our souls, to our feet to go, our soul to actually go. That's if we even have one. This is the way it's going to go. But in order to be balanced and everything, that a soft answer, as Eugene put inside, uh, which come from the Proverbs, is way better than a harsh truth. A harsh truth sometimes is needed, but if we can go ahead and have some mercy and severity, some balance inside of that. And so when she spoke on that and hit the benzene, first of all, I didn't even know she spoke German. 11 on the clock, which is cool, which was freaking cool. You know what I'm saying? Especially to übersetze it, to translate it and everything was kind of cool. But then when I went back in today, benzene is gasoline. Basically, I know you probably saw the video. It was so cool. But what I did today, I just went back in today and took the first verse and everything, and looked back over it again, and it hit again. It hit again. So it goes Benzin, sie wollten Wasser, doch kriegen Benzin. Sie schreien nach Wasser, doch sie kriegen Benzin. The next verse is Ein Kopf, wieder tausend Stimmes. I have to stop right there because that's the kicker. Okay. 121 Revelation on the clock, 12:13 on the clock. That's the fucking kicker. It says Ein Kopf. Kopf is the family last name over in Germany. Okay. It's Peter and Karina Kopf, meaning head. So it says, Ein Kopf wieder tausend Stimmen, der Blick in die grauen Himmel. Der Blick in den. So it says, my head again, a thousand voices. Der Blick, the Blick is like a flash of the gray heavens. Okay, but I'm Kopf was like, whoa, that blew me out the freaking water, And then was she, I guess, with a 22266 video, after going on, within the benzene, at the end of it, she says, well, I've got to make sure I get my Scorpio carp. And lo and behold, the Scorpio carp just pops out. Okay. The first card. Even on the 222/666 video, the first card that popped out was a 2. You know? And the thing of like, I love it. The reason why I like her is because it's investigative with why. It's not just da da dish da 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 da. Don't get me wrong. I know we get our intertwined and everything inside of it emotionally, especially when it hits us personally, and or even get mad because you've gone through the same thing and you know how you feel on that already, and so it just reignites something that you've gone through, and then our emotions go into it. You know what I mean? So, but the thing I love about the way she does it, and other people, like I said, she does the investigations with conflict resolution. It is not a setup of, oh, he's stupid right now, or you figure out your way to go ahead and nicely slap him up, with words, or smile, what have you not, or however everyone does what they do. And so the mercy, the thing about And then she went into Kabbalah. Then she went into Kabbalah too. It was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. And she went on that, like I said, Chesed is that of mercy, and Gevura is that of severity and everything. And so I wanted to just add in on that one, because I could not believe it when I went into it. Just from my little notes and everything I had took down. So the archangel for that of Gevura, which is severity of God in the Kabbalah, is Chamael, right? And he is the protector of the wronged, and also the avenging angel of God who pursues those humans who break universal law. He is associated with the divine justice and security and severity, and is also called the right hand of God, meting out justice in order to restore a state of balance, as she was talking about the balance. Okay, to restore a state of balance through the tree of life. Okay, so he controls the aspect of burning and destroying. Benzene, benzene, creaking Wasser, what do you say? Yeah, what is Benzene, benzene. Sie wollten Wasser, dort sie kriegen Benzene. so, so this is the funny part. I'm telling you, I mean, I don't know if she knew this and everything, but so it says again, he controls the aspects of burning and destroying in order to purify and persevere. Listen to that. And we got the fire trucks at 1700 on the clock right there. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. And so burning and destroying in order to purify and preserve. It can be likened unto a doctor who makes a necessary decision to cut off the infected limb, or in order to save the patient. Additional titles is Gavuriel, okay, Camafel Sam Raphael, and is the leader of the seraphim. Okay, leader of the seraphim. The symbols, which include that of a sword, spear, a scourge, and a shield. The seraphim is when we leave the human form and we are in the ethers. We're in the in the flame in the yeah in the etherical world and everything, going to do what we do. You know, those are the those are higher. This is in Kabbalah. This is in Kabbalah. People didn't know. I'm sure everybody knows a little bit of something. Maybe not. Okay, and then that we're going to go back to Chesed. Okay, so what happens with that with the fire? This is see, Chamael is actually has a numerical value of 91, which is all the angels for one, but actually tied to the water tower. So even you know, after the burning and destroying, it's tied directly to a water tower to go ahead and replenish with water. And for me right now, that's pretty much it. Whether I mean, as far as water flowing in the flowing state and everything, you know, like you said, Bruce Lee said it can crash or it can flow. Okay, and the flow, whether it be on top and everything, the consciousness flow, or we go to the deep end, which is subconscious. Okay, and we're able to go down here, and that's going to be pressure. That's going to be pressure because even the subconscious, you know, it doesn't just it actually does also means to you hold back a lot. You hold back a lot. That's the reason why the water elements to include Scorpio, Cancer and Pisces, are so are considered, what do you say, in your feelings or volatile or all those things because it is that of water also. Okay. So these are things in which we know, but maybe don't look at in certain perspectives. And if we do, then we might just say that's just the way it is anyway. And those are things that we're talking about of changing. That's just the way it is. Okay. And so, how do we do that? With mercy, with chesed. Okay, the archangel chesed in Kabbalah is righteousness of God. This indicates the righteousness of the by justification after the applicable tests and tribulations. It implies that one whose essence is essentially correct. The root word sadak means like Melchizedek is righteousness, or to be correct. To be correct, I'll just put it like that. The righteousness or the righteous, don't mean it's us. Just because we right doesn't mean we us. I don't, but to be, and we don't mean just because we right doesn't mean we can't use the left side of our artistic brain in that, and vice versa. Might not necessarily like that, which people may say which is right, you know, but we we can go ahead and be creative and utilize that and how it would be benefiting to everyone. Okay, 22:02 on the clock. So this right here, Sadek, action is setting snares and hindrances in order to test. In order to test, also. Okay, as Shemot or Exodus 20:20 says, I have come to test thee, to test thee. Okay, so the duty is the direct everything is to be best possible state to direct everything to the best possible state of being to make things perfect in order to assure that the ascent to the divine is possible. Additional titles include uh, Sadiqiel, okay, and Sadiqiel as the leader of the angels known as the Hasiim, okay. He is the angel of benevolence, abundance, joy, mercy, and memory. His symbols include the rod and the staff. Even Eugene said, you know what he said? The rod and the staff. Moses had to use his rod and the staff, but the rod is also part of our eye, and the staff is that of our backbone. Okay, it's just like that too. Even in the serpentary motions and so forth. All right. So everything is like such lining up in the simple fact of this. And had I did the Gebura first, severity of God first, and then the Chesed, righteousness second, it wouldn't have ended up in the way it's getting ready to go right now. And this is kind of cool. So where we at here? Get back to the okay. He is the angel of benevolence and abundance, joy, mercy, and memory. Memory. And the memory and everything, it actually brings us back to today. Okay? So we go to, even in, as this is the ninth year and everything, we go ahead to Nehemiah. Okay? Nehemiah means to comfort. Means to comfort as I Yeah, means to comfort, as I believe. I'm got to go back and get the exact definition on it. But it's they're coming back in from that of Babylon right now. Okay, so on this day, October 31st, in 445 BC, this is what is said to be happening. Okay, it says, now in the 24th day of the month, the children of Israel were assembled with fasting and with sackcloths upon the earth and earth upon them. So today would be a good day for fasting. Okay, even for the ancestors, whether hey, it would be Halloween. We don't have to say trick or treat. Give me something good to eat. Matter of fact, fast. Okay, fast. Okay, do something. Do the opposite. Okay, uh, maybe, maybe. So verse 2. And it says, and the seed of Israel separated themselves from the strangers and stood and confessed their sins and their iniquities of their fathers. Verse 3, that's 92. That was 91, 91. 92, 93 now. And they stood upon their place and read the book of the law of the Lord their God. One fourth part of the day, semicolon, and fourth part of the day they confessed and worship to their Lord, their God. Okay? Not everybody even had the same God. We already know there's so many gods inside of here. But their God. Okay? And the Lord is in all capital letters, and God is G, lowercase o, lowercase d. So all that stuff right there, leave it up to you to figure out where uh, how it can apply to you. But the point of it being that we take the meat, okay, but or just take the soup and leave the meat. Okay, for those who eat meat. So the soup part of it is basically the fast, as opposed to trick or treat. But the broth of it is confessing their sins and the iniquities of their fathers, and that's 9:2. That's how. That's 92. Pa'aron 92. Okay, so that left off of again the memories of mercy from mercy, chesed. Okay, and benevolence, abundance, joy, mercy, and memory. So those things, we might not think that we know those things that are of our forefathers or so forth, but in all actuality, as all each generation, like I say, we are 14 generation. In all actuality, a lot of those things are playing out inside of our life and everything. We don't know it. And so even when we go to I'm not going to say curb things, to cut those things off, then that's in giving homage and sewing us back together throughout our generations and everything, you know, throughout our generations and everything. So that right there is what I got out of that right there as I put my left hand behind my back again, okay? Because we should not judge, you know, and we should have that severity and mercy, especially to be uh, If we want it, it's not even if we want it. First of all, we should just have that. We should have that. Now, when we know that things are, hey, not going to happen, you know, or if a person does go ahead and show, some change from a distance, even from a distance, you know, you can see, and not only that, you won't even need that even to be looking at that because it will be seen, especially with today, CCTV. Okay, it will be seen what people have done, are doing, plan to do, and not only that, they'll speak it with their mouth. They'll speak it with their mouth. They will come and say, "Hey, I apologize." All right, uh, and then followed up by action, because action speaks louder than words. You got to be a verb and put into action on that. Okay, so there are many wrongs to be righted, and many writings that have been written to be rewritten, and making sure that hey, that we are the underwriter because hey, the pen is mightier than the sword. You know, to go ahead and write out your own and make sure you get ownership of it too. Make sure you get ownership of it because a lot do not have create their own. They have not opened up their own creative uh, fluids, juices. Have not done just the simple work that we're talking about. Even the simple thing of right now of apologizing, and apologies is also an apologetic, meaning to defend something. So you got to watch that whether they're defending something with the apology also. So basically, it's going to be by vibration. It's going to be vibration. It's going to be by sight. It's going to be by sound. It's going to be by you already know intuition. You already know. You know? And then we have to go ahead and uh, process it as at 3 on the clock, 30 on, as long as we need to process it. And we might, like I said, go back around in many, many, many circles, revolutions, in order to go ahead and get this done. Still, don't let that deter you because in order to get to the next phase of whatever it is that we're have applied ourselves to or we desire, whether it be good, bad, or ugly. and, I was, and I was laughing at the homie. He said, "I did it. I did it. I got. I made my. I got to the top. Man. I'm a gangster. I'm, I'm a real motherfucking gangster." And I cracked up with him too, boy. He said he did the shit. He did the shit. All right. you know, but whatever our thing is, you know, hey, do what you got to do. You know, otherwise it's not gonna. It ain't. It's not gonna come to you. And if it does, trust me, I've seen it slip away, torn away. Uh, what it is most people, when they go ahead and get it, because the way it was gotten, don't necessarily think about even investing or whatever secure thing like most. You know, they're living off the land. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna last for a long time, and it's not necessarily even inside of the land or structural type of things, but even inside of yourself. And because even after all that fades away, if you have invested inside of yourself, then you know that you can go ahead and it's just going to be better. It's going to be better. You know? So that's all I have for you today, and we'll get better. We'll get better. And I wish that for you too, sunshine and calm waters. Calm waters, all right? Uh, be safe out there, with the trick or treat. Have fun at the same time. And we will talk to you when we talk to you, all right? You guys take care. Ciao, ciao.